Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with another video for you. So of course the new update is out, primarily just a new banner, which obviously features Virtual Reflection Ciel, as well, aka Alter Ciel, as well as the regular and Fatefuls and all associated banners with that banner. And so in tonight's episode of Should You Summon, we'll discuss the banners that featured Alter Ciel and decide for ourselves whether or not it's worth it or it's a pass. And so let's get right into it. Of course, with the Fatefuls, you know that it's 3 times as per the update notice. And with all of these new units being SA'd, you do get that pickup bonus if you hit on any banners, whether or not it's paid or free. The paid one, straight 0.8 with a 10% chance on the 10th pull. And of course, it does have all the newest units, including Shanhua, as well as ES Annabelle, although they do not have any pickup bonus as per all the previous banners out there. And so you can scroll down, all the units are in the game. Shanhua is right there. And let's just go a little bit further down to... I think I must have missed Annabelle, but Annabelle ES is in here. And of course, there is the Fateful Boundless Heights and Thunder Blunt Edition. So let's go into this banner first before we talk about Alter Ciel's banner specifically. This one should have Alter Ciel in it, although that is not the main focus in this banner, since it's more for units that can be used alongside Alter Ciel. So 2 times max, 1,000 paid stones or your Heaven subscription ticket. On the 10th ally, guarantee one of the 5-star heroes. Some of them are SA versions, some of them are not. So of the ones that are not SA, we have Valette, obviously one of our premier Thunder Zone setters. We have Tuva ES, Lovely ES, Miu ES, Suzette ES, RCF, and Melina ES. Of the units that are actually SA eligible, only Oboro and Daisy AS are there. Even Orlea AS can still be side graded. She was one of the last units before the SA systems premiered. And so you can clearly see that they have both Thunder and Blunt, and that actually works out pretty well with Alter Ciel's moveset, as we'll go over in a little bit. He does work very well with Thunder and Blunt, and actually is supposed to be used on an all Thunder or Blunt, a Blunt team straight out. He can also be subbed into a Thunder team, but I believe that won't allow him to fully use all his capabilities. That being said, pulls 1 to 9, you can still get every unit in the game. Pulls 10, of course, is a 10% chance. There was only 10 units in the banner, and so, you'll get one of those 10 for sure, and if you're lucky, you'll get some extra 5 stars on pulls 1 to 9. Bots, Rainbow Sisters, and Knights are here as well. And so, first of all, should you summon this one? I think for those who haven't used the Star Dream already, if you are looking for one of the older units that are still quite viable, I think of the batch that I see here, I would say Valette would probably be the biggest prize. It's not like Orlea is bad or ES2V is bad. I just think that on a pure Thunder team, without Valette there, you really don't unlock the full capabilities of a Thunder team. As I've demonstrated in videos past, having a Valette allows you to kind of play around with your other 3 units in the front line, whether or not you want an Orlea or Orlea AS for some defense, hold ground, and so on and so forth. Or if you want some more power, you can bring the SA Oboro, ES Miu, or combos like that. ES Nakoko, RCF also fit well since they Kaleido everything. And Valette is great. And remember, only unit that has the amped function to allow you to kind of build up extra damage based on up to 99 stacks. She would be the main prize. Not to mention she does come with guns as a sidekick, and we always pull for the buddy of the unit. For the rest of the units, they're not bad. I mean, all of them are half decent to quite used often. I think if you had SA Oboro, even non-SA Oboro has some function in a Thunder team. I mean, he would be the easiest replacement of someone like Victor or Victor AS. But if you're talking about all-in-one kind of Thunder DPS unit that can be used if you have a high enough light, and who wouldn't, Miyu ES is probably the easiest one to have. Many of you already have the codexes, side graded her, and hopefully have AS or the normal style to kind of augment the stat bonus if you have all three forms. She does barrier pierce, she does major damage, she can boost herself, she can die after 3 turns of Lionheart, but still, very, very good. Overall, I think this banner tries to be pretty decent, but we all know that the most of the banners nowadays focus on the essays. This one really only has like one or two essays because the Daisy AS is there. And because of that, why are we spending 1,000 stones on a banner as this? If you really wanted a specific unit and you wanted Valette, I would recommend using a Star Dream encounter to encounter Valette, since at least you're getting the full kit out of it and not a half kit. Otherwise, I would argue and recommend passing on this banner. Now, this banner for the Ciel is only here for a month. And actually also comes with the 7th anniversary. No, that's actually the other one. So, anyways. So, if you're going to pull on Alter Ciel, you can pull. Obviously, this is the free version, not the paid banner. You do get a pickup bonus as well. So in this case, this is one of the rare instances that Alter Ciel is 0.8 and 0.8. So whether or not you pull a single pull or a 10 pull, your odds remain essentially the same of getting Ciel, although obviously by not pulling a 10 pull, you reduce the odds of getting a guaranteed 4 and also getting an increased rates of 4.5s. Now, if you've listened to some of my earlier videos, we already consider 4.5s not nearly as valuable as they used to be, being that it comes with 0 SA. However, if you're newer to the game, pulling 10 pulls is still much more desirable than pulling singles because you still need those 4s and 4.5s to fill out your roster and eventually unlock the vast majority of units. Because remember, there are still over 100 5-stars out there, most of which are not SA'd. And so if you're playing the game within the first little while, you definitely want to do 10 pulls over single pulls. For veterans, you can join the Church of Single Pulls and try for the Alter Ciel, or of course you can decide to pass as well. Also, because this is a free banner, no Shanhua, no SA, ES Annabelle, which you clearly see here, is only the AS version. And so what do I think about Alter Ciel? Alter Ciel's moveset definitely feels better than previous SA designs. And the reason I say that is there have only been a few SA units where the unit is pretty much as good already without the SA. And then obviously, the SA is just a bonus. And that's what really the gist of the SA system really should be. You should have the same power levels as some of the best units in 2023 non-SA'd, like the Acestas and Minokas of the world, or whoever you want to say. And then the SA is just a bonus. And in this case, I think Alter Ciel might fit that. So one thing is, he is one of the first units, I believe, that can give Barrier Pierce to the entire team frontline without using the SA ability. So this is the normal move called Sweetheart. Boosts users type attack 50% crit rate guaranteed for 3 moves, which is magic and physical. And when he is on stage, and we'll talk about more of that later, buffs apply to the whole party and the buff time is increased times 2. So I believe that will be for 6 moves. And the party does gain Barrier Pierce for 2 hits, and the unit can also inflict Weapon Break Blunt on all enemies. So that means that Ciel will be the one applying Weapon Break Blunt because this move is not an attack move; it's more like a support move. Now that being said, hey, party-wide Barrier Pierce is a very nice boost. Not to mention, some limitations on the on-stage. And so the on-stage really comes back to, if you start the front line with 4 blunt users, you'll get 4 stacks, which basically turn you into on-stage. If you have less than 4, I believe you do not get the on-stage. So you do need an all-blunt team to do that. And I believe the SA ability allows you to augment that where you get the full 4 stacks at the turn start. At battle start. Now, I'm not sure if that ability is locked specifically behind SA, but I can't see anything about that at the moment. And so I'm going to have to take it at face value and say that this move can be used without the SA form. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If I am correct, and it can be used outside SA abilities, that is an extremely powerful buff for Ultra Ciel to give to the whole team. I mean, he has some other moves out there as well. One other interesting one is Perfect Posing, which is basically restore users MP 50%, allows user to use Lunatic Plus again. Also, on stage does give Cyclone Wind immunity, aka kickback immunity to all party members, which is very useful against certain types of bosses and boss rushes. Now, this will harken back to the Almas of the War, where it's almost like you elixir ray yourself and give yourself another Lunatic. Obviously, Lunatic allows you to do more damage. Not sure which Lunatic he is, but either way, more Lunatic is always better. He also has one move that is Thunder Blunt AoE XL, increased damage on critical, and you can always get critical, and will awaken zone if you have a zone already. And when on stage, the party's power, int, and speed will be boosted by 50%. That's not bad. I mean, we already have, for example, if you're using Thunder, you already have Alumage and Exosia, Obliterate, from both Orlea and Valette respectively. And so fits very well into it, but obviously without using blunt teams, you will not get that on-stage ability. And so obviously Valette will still work, being that she has a hammer. However, Orlea would not. And then finally, Stellar Burst abilities. If you enhance the ability, you will start up right away with a damage barrier. So you have a barrier for himself so that Ciel can survive, and you start right away with the 4 cheers, allowing you to start up the on stage. Again, I'm really hoping that that's not locked behind the SA, where at the start of every turn you still do get the chance to on stage with 4 blunt units. And I believe that also resets, by the way. Okay, so the SA move is basically more damage. Does do some other things which restore HP, MP, and does an extra end of turn attack. And so in this case, that alone is very powerful, but not super necessary. And so again, if I'm reading the moves correct, Ultra Ciel is quite usable out the box, with some additional benefits, obviously having the SA. And so as a pure free-to-play, I would recommend not to pull on Ultra Ciel. You can side grade it. Now, the downside to that is obviously start with 0 out of 3, but if you're going to side grade any unit, you're going to get 0 out of 3 stellar gauges anyways. And then you can always use the 3 All Cosmos Star Charts if you feel Ultra Ciel is beneficial to your team. The thing is, even at 0 light or shadow, Ciel obviously won't be as effective. However, you can decide for yourself whether or not you really want to pull for an Ultra Ciel or side grade him, since everyone has a Ciel in some form and can probably side grade him once you get the 3 opuses or opera. Anyways, as a pure free-to-play, I would recommend not to pull. However, if you're a light spender or a heavy spender, you could choose to pull on it. I feel that there are better uses to using your paid stones, only because it seems that he can still be used without the SA. Again, please correct me if you do not get that on stage without the SA ability, which would, honestly, if that were the case, then I would take back everything I say, and Ciel's obviously going to be really, really hampered without that on-stage ability on a non-SA form. But again, I assume that that's the case. So, to summarize, don't summon, side grade, save your All Cosmos Star Charts for either him or someone else. However, you can save your stones because I think he, at first glance, looks pretty usable without the SA, which, if this continues on in that trend, I think that will be nicer to many players, instead of having a gimped up unit that is basically unusable as an SA non-SA form, right? We don't want another one of the Winefica where without the SA she is essentially not very useful, or some units where you just can't get started without having it, such as ES Philly. Anyways, hopefully that gives you some ideas as to my thoughts and opinions about this banner. Obviously, if you haven't finished the Paradise of Imperfections, you can continue doing that. For myself, I'm still burning keys. Haven't had much time to do much of anything. And just biding my time. Those 1,000 stones, I believe my oldest son is going to eventually press on Shanhua and try one more time. However, at this point, I'm saving my stones. Anyways, good luck to all who are pulling. And again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.